I would own this. Think of it as a real estate development for the future. It would be a beautiful piece of land.
Would the Palestinians
no
have
big
the right
money
to return?
Spent. No, they wouldn't, because they're going to have much better housing, much better. In other words, I'm talking about building a permanent place for them. Because if they have to return now, it'll be years before you could ever. It's not habitable. It will be years before it could happen. I'm talking about starting to build, and I think I could make a deal with Jordan. I think I could make a deal with Egypt. You know, we give them billions and billions of dollars a year.
Committed to buying and owning Gaza. As far as us rebuilding it, we may give it to other states in the Middle East to build sections of it. Other people may do it through our auspices. But we're committed to owning it, taking it, and making sure that Hamas doesn't move back. There's nothing to move back into. The place is a demolition site. It'll be, the remainder will be demolished. Everything's demolished. I mean, you can't live in those buildings right now. They're very unsafe. But we'll make it into a very good site for future development by somebody. We'll let other countries develop parts of it. It'll be beautiful. People can come from all over the world and live there. But we're going to take care of the Palestinians. We're going to make sure they live beautifully and in harmony and in peace, and that they're not murdered. This has been the most dangerous site anywhere in the world to live in. But coming into the United States, it's a long way for them to travel. They're far away from their families and their friends and everything else. I think they'd be very happy staying in the general area in a place that was safe, where they could be safe and lead a good life. They don't want to go back to Gaza. As I said, I've said it a lot. They only go back because they have no alternative. They don't want to go back to Gaza. So we'll see. We hope that we'll be helped by Egypt. We hope that we'll be helped by Jordan. We hope that we'll be helped by other countries. We hope that some of the, like Saudi Arabia and others, can spend some money on it. They have tremendous amounts of money. They'll spend some money on making people comfortable and safe.
I said to him, I'd love you to take on more, because I'm looking at the whole Gaza Strip right now, and it's a mess. It's a real mess.
So you'd like Jordan to house people from Gaza?
To take people. I'd like Egypt to take people. I'm talking to General El-Sisi tomorrow, sometime, I believe. And I'd like Egypt to take people, and I'd like Jordan to take people. You're talking about probably 1.5 million people, and we just clean out that whole thing. It's it's over the centuries that's had many, many conflicts, that site. And I don't know, it's something has to happen, but it's literally a demolition site right now. Almost everything's demolished.
US President Donald Trump's plan to resettle Palestinians from Gaza in Jordan is a recipe for radicalism. That's the stark warning Jordan's King Abdullah plans to deliver when he meets Trump in Washington. Relocating the Palestinians will spread chaos through the Middle East, he'll warn, threatening Jordan's peace treaty with Israel and even the kingdom's existence. Trump's plan sparked protests in the Jordanian capital Amman on Friday. Abdullah said this week he rejected any attempts to annex land and displace Palestinians. One source said he'd made a flurry of calls to regional heavyweights Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates and Qatar to muster support. Jordan absorbed more Palestinians than any other state after Israel's creation in 1948. By some estimates, they make up more than half of its population of 11 million. Trump announced a plan on Monday for the United States to take over Gaza after resettling the Palestinians in neighbouring countries. A White House briefing on Monday modified that idea, saying instead that Palestinians would be temporarily relocated for the rebuilding process. Trump's plan evokes Jordan's nightmare of being turned into an alternative home for the Palestinians, a vision long promoted by right-wing Israelis. Amman fears it would pave the way for the expulsion of 3 million Palestinians from the neighbouring Israeli-occupied West Bank, where violence has surged. Jordan has been a close Western ally since independence from Britain in 1946 and hosts US forces. It signed a peace treaty with Israel in 1994. According to Marwan Muasher, a former foreign minister who helped negotiate that deal, the main justification for doing so was to prevent a Palestinian state being set up in Jordan. Even Jordan's establishment is now questioning that reasoning, he said. The officials said Jordan is preparing for worst-case scenarios, drawing up plans including declaring a state of war with Israel, abrogating the peace treaty, and declaring a state of emergency. Jordan is also a top recipient of US military and economic aid, to the tune of about $1.45 billion a year.
رئيس جمهورية كينيا الشقيقة الظلم التاريخي اللي وقع على الفلسطينيين وتم تهجيرهم قبل كده ولم يرجعوا إلى مناطق ثبت أو سبق التأكيد لهم إن هم ممكن يرجعوا تاني بعد ما يتم تعميرها. هل ممكن الكلام ده يتكرر مرة تاني؟ أنا ما افتكرش. وبقول إن الشعب المصري لو أنا طلبت منه هذا الأمر هيخرج كله في الشارع المصري ويقول لي لا. لا تشارك في ظلم. لا تشارك في ظلم. أنا بقولها بمنتهى الوضوح. ترحيل وتهجير الشعب الفلسطيني من مكانه هو ظلم لا يمكن أن نشارك. كل ذلك بمناسبة ما يتردد بشأن موضوع تهجير الفلسطينيين. وأود أن أطمئن الشعب المصري بأنه لا يمكن أبدا التساهل أو السماح بالمساس بالأمن القومي المصري. وأطمئنكم بأننا عازمون على العمل مع الرئيس ترامب وهو يرغب في تحقيق السلام، التوصل إلى السلام المنشود القائم على حل الدولتين. ونرى أن الرئيس ترامب قادر على تحقيق ذلك الغرض الذي طال انتظاره بإحلال السلام العادل الدائم في منطقة الشرق الأوسط.
مساء الخير لكم جميعا. موقفنا من أن حل الدولتين هو السبيل لتحقيق السلام ثابت لا يتغير. رفضنا للتهجير ثابت لا يتغير، وهذا ليس فقط موقف ثابت راسخ لا يمكن أن تحيد عنه المملكة، ولكنه أيضا ضرورة من أجل تحقيق الأمن والاستقرار والسلام الذي نريده جميعا. نتطلع إلى العمل مع الإدارة الأمريكية القادمة. الرئيس الأمريكي دونالد ترامب كان واضحا في قوله أنه يريد تحقيق السلام في المنطقة، وفي ذلك نحن له شركاء. والسلام الذي نريده والذي تستحقه المنطقة والذي يضمن الأمن والاستقرار هو السلام الذي تقبله الشعوب، والذي يلبي حقوق الشعوب، والذي يلبي تحديدا حق الشعب الفلسطيني في العيش بحرية وكرامة على ترابه الوطني الفلسطيني.